Hello, welcome to another episode of the Pianoforte Podcast. I am your co-host Felicia, and I'm joined by my co-host Audrey. Hello, Audrey.
Hi, Fishy. So,
Hello.
in this topic, in this episode, the topic is kind of not heavy in so per se. It's more
But
of
it's an area we haven't quite covered yet.
it is an area that we haven't covered, but we have mentioned kind of this subject a lot. And it's actually just like labeling, and not talking as like a music label, as in like Warner Bros.
Not a company.
Studios or Universal Music, not music labels, but labeling yourself,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like who you are.
Who are you?
Who are you as a
As a person,
person,
in
as
your
a
profession,
musician?
what do you do?
Yes. So that's that
Yeah.
is the kind of the vibe we're going with. We don't have
Yeah.
any specific direction.
But actually,
we can-
Audrey,
Mm-hmm.
sorry to cut you off. No,
No,
you
it's fine.
Okay, you finish talking first and then.
But I just want to say it's something that we can start kind of general, because also as with teaching and songwriting, in previous season, I guess, we also started very general, and like we start to kind of delve into more specific topics as the time goes on. So we can do it also like more general thing today, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you want to say?
No, I'm just curious because we were chatting a bit just now about this actually, but I didn't actually ask you this. You brought up this topic quite a while back, and I
Yeah.
was wondering when did you start thinking about this? Was it something that has always been at the back of your head?
Good question actually. When did I start to think about labeling? I think it just came to me more as the time goes. Like I do think I kind of retrospect a lot. Like
You
actually,
think about things a lot?
yeah, I think about things a lot, to myself and about myself. Like, oh, how would I if I would ever meet Audrey from the past, like how would I introduce myself right now? Like what am
Mhm.
I? Because like that's just a thing that I like to do, like just like, yeah. What am I
Just
actually?
to kind of let your mind wander.
Yeah, like how would I describe myself? Very philosophical,
And how
but
you
it's,
describe what you do?
yeah, how do I describe me, as in like the musician me? I mean, I will not describe
Mm-hmm.
me as in like the family function me, for example. I don't need to explain that. I guess I know it for sure. But like as a musician's side, I think it always evolve like in a like in a more dynamic way.
Mm-hmm.
Because for
It
example,
just changes as you learn more things as well.
yeah. Because yeah, I mean, it's also more progressive because of our studies, I guess. In the 4 years,
Yeah.
a lot changed. Uh, like it started
I
a
mean, it
way
opened a
and
lot
it
of
ended
doors for
another
us.
different way. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, because like something at university, it is a place that we are supposed to explore,
It is.
and it's a place that gives us a lot of exposure to different styles of music, different areas of and aspects of music, things that you could do
It is.
and you never thought about doing, right? So
It is. It is.
it's
In
a
fact,
place where a lot
very
of
true.
evolution. Yeah.
And also, like, generally, your university age is like you are in the age of young adults, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You're like 19-ish, 20, 23. I mean, I have seen also many of my friends that started older than that, but not many younger. Usually, if it's younger, even it's 18
Yeah.
or late
Yeah.
17. But yeah, so it's a really not only appropriate time, but it does in fact a time for you to discover yourself, kind of a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I am still trying to discover myself. I mean, it's a never changing thing. This thing.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. Yeah. So, shall we kind of just like throw out a couple labels that we
Yeah.
can associate with ourselves? So, on the foreground, we have mentioned stuff about teaching. So we are both teachers, right?
Yes, and that is also a more steady source of income for us.
Yeah, it is a steadier source of income. So it is quite a
Mhm.
huge part of the labeling aspect.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I guess we also conclude this on the other episode. I am more of a songwriter, but you are more of a composer. You don't really actually write songs, I guess.
No, I don't really write songs
You
anymore.
compose pieces.
Yeah.
It's kind of different. Uh,
Well, I actually identify more being a compose student.
you are
Because
see, it's already a different thing. So we already got three
because it's
different
quite
labels
different,
for
right?
it.
Yeah.
Is because I am not learning how to songwrite. I just do.
Write it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just do it with all the failures and the success. And nobody is actually like guiding me, like literally. I
Yeah.
can try to guide myself. Sometimes I fail, but it's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah. And then like, what else? We are both pianists, obviously,
Yeah.
for the
And we
fact
both play
matters.
other instruments as well.
Yeah. See, do you consider yourself as a multi-instrumentalist? Multi-instrumentalist?
I don't, because I only actively play one instrument at the moment, and very rarely and much more recreationally another instrument. I mean the guitar, but
Same. I also play clarinet once in a while. Once in a while means probably once a year or maybe twice a year, depending on my holidays. It's usually during the holidays that I play my clarinet, that I got my downtime and be like, I need something to do. Let's revisit the clarinet.
yeah,
But I also sing a lot for
yeah,
myself,
you
for
do.
other people, for
Uh-huh.
functioning and non-functioning thing, if you know what I mean, like for bands or recordings or just like for
Okay.
fun. Whoa. Um. So I don't know if I want to say if I'm myself a multi-instrumentalist, but I kind of am. But
Yeah.
I don't see, I don't introduce myself to another person, be like, oh, I'm a multi-instrumentalist. But
I think that comes with us not being very active with the other
the other
instruments we
instruments,
can play.
right?
Right? So it's like you can play them, but
We should have
if you're
asked
not active.
Simon about this. Simon, our guest
Oh yeah,
from
we should.
episode 3, because he played a lot of instruments and
Yes, and he also teaches them.
he actively teaches them. So he's way more
Yeah.
connected with all of those instruments than we are with all of our instruments, I guess.
Yes.
Right? So that is that. That is that. And then there is a part that's like, because not many people know, but I do sometimes sing on my own songs. I haven't published any of them yet. Yes.
Is it
But-
on the table? So it's on the table. Like you plan to publish the songs that you sing.
I don't know. I don't know. I have no plans. I have written songs. I have sung on it. I haven't sent it to anybody. Like I haven't, like for example, like the song that I did with Britta. Maybe I sent it to Britta quite soon after I got the piano done, or like I have a couple idea for the melody, but not completely done. Or yeah, I also work with another singer songwriter, Kiara, based in Berlin. But it's usually her songs that I just put some of my voice into it as well. Just like, oh, what if you do this? if you do that with the backing vocals and stuff. But am I then a singer-songwriter if I do write my own stuff as well? That's a good question. Isn't it?
It is.
But
And you also produce.
yeah. I help to produce. I try to produce. I am not a good producer. I'm not claiming to be a good producer.
But it's something you are still actively doing as well.
I am still
And
actively
you plan to
doing.
continue doing this as well.
Yeah, I am planning to still continue to just mess around with my computer till it says, Audrey, it's enough. I think this episode is just Audrey trying to find her identity. She has identity crisis. A strong sense of identity crisis. Right?
But I mean, there's some aspects of like, in terms of identity, I guess, and like identity as a musician that I think you are very, like, you know yourself very well.
Yeah.
If it's things like, what kind of music do you like to listen to? What kind of music do you like to play?
Oh, that is
what kind of
also a
music
thing, right?
do you like to produce?
Yeah, that is also a thing. That is also a thing for like musicians. That is like, are you tied to
What
one
kind of songs
genre?
do you write?
Yeah, are you tied to one genre,
Yeah.
or are you just like your own genre? Like.
And then you'd explain that. Labeling.
Yeah, be like, what? I guess if you are in a production house, or like in a label company, as in Warner Bros. Or Universal Studios or those kind of things, they would have people to help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
But as independent artist, I think it is your job still to know yourself
To
and
identify
to
yourself.
market yourself.
Yes,
'Cause
yes.
in
This
the
is
end-
actually marketing.
In the end, this all labelings will be your marketing, like your marketing keywords, I would say.
Yeah.
Because for a matter of fact, I market myself still as a pianist and more like an educator than anything of the previously mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
there's always like money involved to it, but also, it's just a lot of things.
Yeah, but actually, I'm also kind of curious, like for
Mhm.
you, because you'll continue writing songs, you'll continue producing. At what point will you be comfortable calling yourself like, hey, I'm also a singer-songwriter. Hey, I'm also a music producer.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I just threw a curveball at you. We didn't plan this
Oh my
before.
god. It's just because like I have had talks and I also have noticed myself, like if I'm talking to Felicia, to you, Fish, for
Mhm.
example, or to like Britta, to Kiara, to Simon, whomever friends I have, or even my parents, I don't really talk about teaching in excitement.
Like, it's not where the energy, like,
Yeah,
is where you're most
I
energetic,
usually
right?
be like, oh, listen to this song, listen to the bass, listen to the guitar part in this specific detail, in this timing, this fill-ins that the drums does, or like to the production. Oh, do you hear the reverb in this part? It's so good. Or the delay in this part. Oh, it's really overwhelming. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I got
Yeah,
excited
like all the
talking
details, right?
I got excited talking about arrangements and a little bit of the production. So, in a sense, my heart is kind of actually a little bit on the more as an arranger slash
Mm-hmm.
production person. But again, like the marketing way, because I know I'm not like crazy good at it. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm crazy
Yet.
good at teaching. Is this
Yet.
something that I've been doing longer, and definitely I'm more confident about that. I guess it just needs
Mm-hmm.
to be. I just need to be confident about the other stuff. Okay, the end of the episode of the podcast. Goodbye. We found a
We
conclusion.
found an answer.
Well, that was quick.
But still, it's like, at what point, like, what is the thing that marks you having like the confidence? Because it's
I don't know. Why don't you answer that question first? Can you answer
there's
that
a reason I'm
question?
asking that.
I'm throwing the ball right back at you. Or
Well,
maybe
just
it's a
like
frisbee. It's not a ball.
maybe,
I like frisbee throwing a little bit more. That's a frisbee then.
yeah. I don't know, because for me, I feel like, I mean, for me right now, just based on what I'm doing and what I fill my time with, there's really only two things that I really do:
True.
teach music
That makes it a
and
lot
just
easier.
take compo classes. Like that's the only thing I have actually pretty much more time for. So it's pretty straightforward for me. But if I plan to expand on that, I'm not so sure how I want to kind of, because there's so many things like
To head
we
up.
can do,
Yeah, right. Cause
right?
also, if I can say it, like from my current activity, I am 90% teaching actually right
Mm-hmm.
now. Like I'm also currently the past like 2 weeks or so, I'm not really writing a lot. I'm on a kind of somewhat final stage of mixing of one song, somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
So I just review it once in a while to also just to let that song simmer down, because
Yeah,
listening to a song over and over and over for a
it gets
long period
tiring.
is you get deaf. You get
Yeah,
mistake deaf. Like you won't hear the
you get
mistakes.
used to the version you hear,
Yeah.
right? And everything
So
just sounds
right
perfectly
now it's
fine.
kind of in the back burner or in the warm
Mm-hmm.
oven as you say it. Um,
Yeah,
just keeping it warm, lukewarm basically. And
yeah.
so if you say that, then I am right now almost a purist teacher.
No, but I think I meant more like, things that you actively do. So it's like, songwriting is still on the table for you. It's still
Yeah,
something you'll be spending time on eventually. Whereas for
I
me, it's like
am
I
kind
can't
of.
tell you when's the next time I'm going to try to write songs.
Mhm. I mean, that's why I said like the other 10% is usually just me trying to kind of balance it out because that's another thing for me. Like I can never be only one thing. I don't
Oh
understand.
yeah.
Like I don't like it when I'm also just teaching.
Mhm.
Kind of like
Yeah.
even if I just write on the side or like right now like produce a little bit on the back burner, I still feel good about it. It's like okay, I got something else to do than just like counting to 4
Actually,
to young children.
that's actually one of the reasons I started taking the composition classes, because I needed something else to,
Right?
again, like what you said, balance things out.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy for me to get stuck in like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
just
and
teaching. This is everything I'm doing.
it's also it kind of is also easy to get stuck in one certain label, I guess. If you're so
Yeah.
used to it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I'm actually also curious for you, like, because when you introduce yourself, you say you're a pianist, right?
Yeah.
Is that like the first thing you say?
I would not say like I'm a pianist. I would say like I play the piano. It's a different thing in my opinion. I don't know why.
It just feels different.
It just feels different. I play the
Yeah.
piano. So usually, this is a very good example because I recently attended a friend's wedding.
Mhm.
It was a very intimate wedding. Like it's very small. Basically, she only had me as a friend. The rest are just like a family, and then like two more friends from the groom side. So it's very small, very very small. Um,
Mhm.
and then the groom's family and friends they don't know me. So they start asking me about what I'm doing, right? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you a student? I'm like, no, I just finished. Oh, so what are you doing now? I'm working. And then I would just say like, I'm a musician. I would first say that.
Uh-huh.
Because actually it is my job title.
Yeah.
Also in the tax department thing.
Oh.
Like, I mean, they don't, basically in the tax part, they kind of have a very basic stuff. Are you a shop owner? Are you a musician? Are you a whatever,
Mm-hmm.
an actor? They kind of don't care what kind of shop. Unless, and then you need to specify later on, you know. But like
Yeah.
the first title, I'm just a musician. So that is what I use. Because legally I am
Right.
just a musician. But like musician is
Uh-huh.
a huge, broad spectrum, right?
Yeah.
So first I would introduce myself as a musician. I'm not introducing myself a pianist. But then they would ask, are you singing? Are you playing an instrument? And then like, I play the piano. So the first
Mm-hmm.
specification is Audrey plays piano.
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I think you would kind of agree on that. Agree on that
Mm-hmm.
as in like you would agree. That's kind of what Audrey is. But I also
Yeah.
feel like that is what you probably would answer as well.
No,
Oh
actually,
no!
if I had to introduce myself to someone like here in Singapore, right? I'm more likely to say I'm a piano teacher.
Oh, you go directly to the teaching part. Great! Wow.
It's less of a hassle because the thing is like it's not like I'm doing any performance. It's not like I have any gigs. It's not like I'm with a
True.
band. So it's much easier to just be
Yeah,
like I'm a piano
you are
teacher.
a lot more direct. I guess I need to just narrow my world down.
I mean, you don't have to narrow your role down. I mean, you can just start with like, you're a musician, you play the piano.
Yeah. And then there comes the part that's like, oh, what are you playing? Like classical? Are you tied to a certain
Yes, that's
genre?
actually what I want to ask you.
And then I'm just like, well, I did study a little bit of the jazz stuff in the music college,
Yeah.
but I'm in a rock metal band. I
Mhm.
am writing mostly pop stuff. I listen to many stuff, I guess, random stuff.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of like film music, scores and stuff like that. K-pop, general pop, sometimes hip hop as well, depending.
Mhm.
Musicals. So like, Audrey has a true
Kind of
identity
everywhere, right?
crisis.
But you know what? Because for me, the two main things I have trouble in terms like labeling
Yeah.
is what kind of music do I like to play and what kind of music do I like to listen to.
That is two different things. True. I agree on that.
Those are some of the things that are hardest to actually try to explain because
What? What of each?
sorry?
Can you sorry. Can you mention one of
Elaborate on them.
elaborate on them.
There is no easy way out for this. So
See.
for how do you even say this? Okay, I can tell you how I used to answer for listening to music because that was back in Germany that I encountered more of this question. I don't get that question here actually. And back then I haven't gotten back into classical music yet, so just keep that in mind. I used to say that some bands I like to listen to are Evanescence, Linkin Park,
So kind of like a
but I don't play their songs. Does
yeah,
it sound familiar to you?
very similar.
Me saying this?
No.
No.
I play
Okay.
a lot of the songs that I listen to.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't play the songs I listen to.
I like the songs that I can jam in. with.
I like to just listen in peace. Like, I like
No,
to really be a very
but I
passive
also
listener,
don't.
really.
I don't play K-pop, obviously, and I don't try to rap. At least you don't want to hear me rap. I barely can talk.
Yeah. Yeah. But the other thing is this, right? Because on the subtext of listening to music, my household, we don't listen to just one type of music together. My dad listens more to classical. My mom listens more to like mental pop. My sister listened to a lot of rock when she was a bit younger, and then afterwards she listened to a lot of musicals.
Nice.
So I kind of just listen to a little bit of everything.
So you're the. Just to clarify, you're the last. We are both last born. We're both last children. The 2 out of 2.
Yes.
We're both 2 out of 2.
Yes.
Um.
Yeah. We're both the younger sibling.
Yeah. I mean, my music influence is definitely a lot from my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I would say. Well, my dad will
Christmas
listen to this
songs?
podcast. He listens to all the podcasts anyway.
Oh.
But yeah, yeah, I think my dad has the bigger influence. Anyway, he also got the bigger influence as in why I am sometimes kind of like not a nerd, but very specific about some things. Be like, that bass line on this part is very good, or like, it's also coming from my dad. I think my dad had that kind of similar-ish approach sometimes. We once went to a concert together, and he specifically said, like, I don't really like one of the thing on the drum, how it sounds. And we try to analyze what of the drum set that doesn't sound
That's
right.
so cool.
And we figured it out. It was the snare. We both be like, it was the snare that didn't sound right.
Oh, that's
so
really
so
cool,
I
though.
guess I did got a heavier influence from my dad. My dad liked ABBA. I think he still likes them. And I do also like them. We both like Christmas music. So that explains. Yeah.
Bring back Christmas.
Bring back Christmas. My dad still listened to it, actually. In January. We're recording this in January. So it is kind of
Yes.
appropriate. Please bring back Christmas. But
Yeah.
I guess that's a never changing topic. I guess we cannot find the solution in one episode. I don't think we'll ever will. But I mean, yeah. If I in some years maybe it will change. Maybe I would market myself as a different thing.
Could be something we revisit in future episodes as well.
It definitely is. It's a good opportunity to just like
To reflect.
going back to yourself sometimes is kind of good to reflect. Have you seen that Billie Eilish interview? That's like right now it's
No, I
an
haven't.
ongoing thing. It's like every year she does the exact same interview. Yeah.
I think I watched the first 2.
I think I watched the first 3, and then like and at this point it's already 5 or something. Like I like Billie Eilish. I don't really like follow on her that much, I kind of jump around. As I said, I listen to a lot of stuff. I jump around between stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's it. Like that's a thing that we can go through like once in a while, in quite a like just an open manner, like how it changed. So right now we're putting it first on the table in this year 2022, how we see ourselves. But maybe we can do it next year or sometime. Even I don't too.
Maybe.
I hope the podcast is still going. But
Hopefully.
even if it's not, it's still a good reference, I think, anyway, for us to see,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe Felicia, maybe in a year or 2, I would be in your place that I know what I can call myself. and you would be in my place that you're just doing everything, and you'll be like, well,
There's a possibility I might be headed in the direction. We'll see about that.
I I can totally see you having this issue if you come back to Germany, or if you come back to Europe.
What?
If you come back to Europe, I can see you having
yeah.
this issue again, like this issue that
Yes.
I have.
I would, yeah.
Because I think when you studied here, as you said, like back then you would you have this like different things that like, oh, I listen to this but I don't play it, but I'm studying this, and then like on the side, because you did your bachelor on like songwriting, you also did more writing, but also
Yeah, I was writing. And I
yeah,
was also playing classical music at that time.
you were also playing
the cellist.
classical music, and we also went to quite a number of music
Yeah.
classical
Yeah.
concerts together.
It
So
was at least three or four, right?
yeah, within a year or something, which is quite
half a
okay.
year. Within half a year.
Yeah, which was really for that period of time, it was okay. But we also went to, I guess, to see other performances as well. Did we? Or was it not with you?
No, it wasn't with me.
Then it's probably with other people. The other Asian gang, or more to be specific, Indonesian gang.
Yeah.
I did have a couple
but anyway,
Indonesian
this
friends
is-
here. No, I'm
Mm.
alone.
Anyway, but this is always an ongoing topic. So
Yeah, right. So
you'll hear about
let's
this next
just
time
put
again,
it
probably.
there out now. It's not, again, this episode is not very like educational.
This episode is supposed to be more exploratory,
Yeah, it's
For
it's
us.
just like,
and you're just joining us for the ride.
yeah, you're just.
But we hope you enjoyed it anyway.
I think they're just like, Audrey is a mess.
No, but I think, I mean,
But I think,
you're
but I
always
think,
confused.
you know what?
This is always a confusing thing.
You know what? What makes me feel good anyway? A lot of like very famous artists, they also kind of I mean they probably don't struggle it as in how they say about themselves, but they also have this like a lot of aspects that they do.
Mhm.
Like they might be an entrepreneur, but at the same time a musician, but at the same time whatever, you know, with their career.
Like they wear many hats.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
different hats. I guess I'll just have to embrace that I have many hats.
Yeah,
Yeah. Good.
colorful hats.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, shall we go on to recommendations?
We
Are we done with this
can.
topic?
We can. Yeah, before we forgot kind of. So,
Yeah.
you
Should I start? You want to start?
maybe so this recommendations is not particularly new song that I just found out or something, but I notice I haven't mentioned it. I guess I haven't mentioned it really. But you know that there's the new Lion King movie like some years ago, like 2019 or 2018. The
Yeah.
live action Lion King, not the anime,
Yeah.
not the 1997 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And from the album, one of the track that was redone was He Lives in You.
What song?
He Lives in You.
Oh, okay.
So it's the moment that Simba. Whoa, I'm pretty sure everybody have watched Lion King, right? I'm pretty sure.
I
It's
haven't.
a classic.
Have I? No, I
The
haven't.
normal Lion King as well.
No, I don't really watch movies much.
Then I'm probably not telling the story.
No, just tell the story.
But anyway, yeah.
I mean, I kind of know the story already anyway, so just say it.
No, you need to watch the movie.
Come on, Audrey.
I love Lion King. But anyway, the song that I'm talking about, "He Lives in You," in this version, the newer version, it's sung by Lebo M. Don't know what his M stands for. Not gonna try to guess. Um, yeah, and he was the original Broadway singer for Lion King. One of the
Mhm.
cast member. Um, Considering who would sing this song, so I guess he would be Rafiki. Uh, I kind of forgot, but I do remember he was one of the original Broadway production cast. Because I also had a conversation about it with another friend. But the reason why I want to point it out is just because the bass line slaps. That song has
Audrey and your bass
that
lines.
song has a really good bass line. I really liked it. But the rhythm section in general is also really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just suddenly remembered. Oh, I haven't mentioned this song, and we were talking about how I nerds on specific stuff. This is one of those moments. I'm like, I love that one song. Why? The bass line. I think I think I have mentioned more bass that I like. Like this song. I think when we have Britta as well, we talked about
Mm-hmm.
what is that? The gospel singer. I don't remember his name.
With Britta.
With Britta,
Hang
it
on.
was Britta's
Yeah,
recommendation.
Evan Hansen's?
Huh?
No, wait. No. Britta's recommendation?
It was Britta's recommendation.
No, I do not know.
I cannot remember his name. He's a yeah. Just watch that episode again. But I also be like, whoa, oh yeah, have you seen their live performance on NPR Tiny Desk? And be like, the bassist was really good and whatever. So I do like my rhythm sections. Really cool bass lines, really cool grooves. I like to groove. It's weird.
Mhm. No, it's not weird.
As a pianist, it's weird though. How am I not focusing on the piano?
I mean, as a producer,
Or as an arranger?
as a songwriter, arranger, yeah, those are actually not weird things.
That's not a weird thing. That's why I said like when I speak with a lot of enthusiasms, it's usually not the things that I would mention. Like it's not the piano
Mm-hmm.
or the teaching. Okay, that's enough for me.
It's the bass lines.
That's enough. Now on you.
For me, again, another classical.
I
Are you sick of the classical
No,
recommendations yet
I
from me?
I
Okay, great.
actually truly respect that we have very different like recommendations with different
Mm-hmm.
reasons. So it keeps it not only entertaining but hopefully also vielfältig.
It provides a variety.
Yeah, it provides a lot of variety.
Mm.
Good word. Good choice.
Yeah. So mine today in this episode is from a composer called Granados,
Granados?
and this piece is Granados.
Yeah, Granados.
There's an S at the yeah. This piece is the fifth piece of his 12 Spanish dances, Andalusian.
Okay.
It's so good. I love this one. 2 bits.
You like your dances songs.
I like the ones in minor key. I realized that because on the app I use, Idaju, I have been just putting in pieces that I like to listen to, and an overwhelming amount has been just in minor key.
Oh wow.
The only ones are in major are like Morning Mood, which I mentioned in episode 4,
Yeah,
and
episode 4.
another piece from Mendelssohn, and another piece from another composer.
That is
Yeah, I think it's in major.
wild.
Yeah,
think-
but this one over here, yeah?
I cannot keep tally on my recommendations, like which key they're in, because sometimes I also just recommend like an entire soundtrack or entire album,
Oh yeah.
so I cannot keep a
Yeah.
tally on that. But
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah, well, but I haven't listened to the other Spanish dances because I've just been so caught up with this one. I've always liked this one because again, it's one of the tracks on a CD my dad puts in the car when he drives me and my sister to school.
So it got a nostalgic
But this one is a very
feel.
strong. Yeah, it's very nostalgic, and I just remember being in the car, looking out the window. It's still pretty dark outside, and then you're just hearing this thing in minor.
I just
And
hear
I'm
this
like, I have
thing
to go
in
to
minor.
school.
I just do.
I think the melody goes something like da da dee da 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 dee da 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 da.
I
That's
have
the first part of the melody.
anyway that Granados
Oh,
is
it's
not
really nice. I
a
like it.
composer that I'm very familiar with. I've heard of his name, but
I think it's the only piece of work I actually know from him so far.
Whoa,
I should
okay.
check out more.
And I definitely know that you are more of a classical expert than I am.
Nah,
We
I know a
do
little
have
bit more.
a plan to delve a little bit more on that though, like a little bit of a classical,
yes. So stay tuned.
classical
For-
genre
Yeah, just stay tuned.
episode.
Mhm.
That's a very good teaser, right?
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah, because we have been talking a lot about popular music, a lot more definitely. So we want to also
One
balance out.
more thing I want to add about.
Yeah.
Sorry, about my recommendation. The version I listened to was from the Mantovani String Orchestra,
Okay.
but the one I managed to find on Idagio is violin and piano.
So it's a different setup, or
Different version. So the thing is this, like with classical music, sometimes I like the piece, but I'm very happy listening to different covers, like different versions from different performers.
oh yeah, that I mean that's also a thing with popular music as well though.
Yeah.
I do like to also sometimes do that. Be like, just listen to covers. Sometimes I do like covers a little bit more than the originals, or like to
Mhm.
a specific live version. Like, this live version from this band, I like it better than the studio version, for example. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Totally. So, yeah, I guess that's that. We're kind of done. Just running around
Yeah, I
in
think we
circles.
are done with.
Yeah.
We are done with today's episode. This
We're
is
very
bit
done.
shorter than some of the previous ones.
Okay, so we would have the notes on our blog. It's not
Yes.
the super new, but in case you haven't checked it out, it's pianofortepodcast.wordpress.com. It will
Yes.
hopefully have all the notes and all the recommendations. So, yeah, just in case you forgot
Go
what
check it
our
out.
recommendations from 7 episodes ago, you can see there.
Or if you want to just look at it again.
Yeah, especially that I meant
Yeah.
I forgot that artist name that Britta recommended. That's a good solution.
Yeah.
You can just go to the podcast website or to the podcast episode, re-listen to it. It's fine.
Yeah.
So with that, we are signing out. Bye bye.
Bye bye.